Finland entered the North Atlantic Treaty Organization with a strategic profile fundamentally different from most other new members. Its accession did not signal an ambition to project power abroad, nor a desire to reshape its armed forces along expeditionary lines. Instead, it formalized a reality that had existed for decades. Finland prepares for one primary contingency: the defense of its own territory. Within this framework, the continued reliance on the Leopard Two main battle tank is not a relic of Cold War thinking, but a rational choice rooted in geography, demography, and strategic culture. Finland now shares the longest land border with Russia of any NATO member. This fact alone shapes defense planning in a way that few European states can fully appreciate. Finnish doctrine has never assumed early warning, air dominance, or uncontested logistics. Instead, it is built around resilience, depth, and denial. The Leopard Two fits into this doctrine not as a breakthrough weapon, but as a stabilizing element within a layered defensive system designed to slow, blunt, and ultimately exhaust any large-scale ground incursion. In Finnish service, the Leopard Two is not treated as a standalone platform. It operates as part of a combined arms ecosystem that emphasizes integration with infantry, artillery, engineers, air defense, and extensive reserve forces. Unlike expeditionary armored units designed for rapid deployment, Finnish armored formations are optimized for familiar terrain, prepared positions, and pre-planned axes of movement. The tank's role is to hold key ground, conduct limited counterattacks, and provide protected firepower in environments where mobility is constrained and visibility is limited. Geography plays a decisive role in this logic. Southern and eastern Finland are defined by dense forests, thousands of lakes, marshland, and a sparse road network. These conditions sharply limit maneuver warfare in the classical sense. Large armored thrusts are channelized by terrain, making them vulnerable to layered defenses. In such an environment, a well-protected and well-supported main battle tank retains significant value, especially when employed defensively. The Leopard 2's mobility, protection, and fire control systems are well-suited to cold weather operations, low visibility, and short engagement ranges typical of Nordic terrain. The experience of the war in Ukraine has led many observers to question the future of main battle tanks. Finland has studied these lessons closely, but its conclusions differ from more sensational narratives. Ukrainian battlefields have demonstrated the vulnerability of tanks when used without adequate air defense, electronic warfare support, or infantry cooperation. Finland does not interpret this as evidence that tanks are obsolete, but rather as confirmation that isolated platforms fail in modern warfare. The Finnish approach reinforces combined arms integration rather than abandoning armored forces altogether. Crucially, Finland does not seek to replicate Ukrainian operational patterns. It does not plan deep armored penetrations or rapid exploitation over open terrain. Instead, Finnish doctrine emphasizes controlled engagements, prepared defensive lines, and the selective use of armored counterpunches. In this context, the Leopard 2 remains relevant. It is not expected to dominate the battlefield alone, but to function as one component in a broader denial strategy designed to impose high costs on any aggressor. Public opinion in Finland largely reflects this pragmatic outlook. National defense enjoys broad political and social consensus, shaped by historical experience and a strong culture of total defense. The Leopard 2 is generally viewed not as an aggressive symbol, but as an insurance policy. Debates do exist, particularly regarding defense spending and the balance between domestic needs and international commitments, but they rarely question the necessity of maintaining a credible armored capability. Discussions around military assistance to Ukraine highlighted this mindset. While Finland has provided substantial support, there has been caution regarding the transfer of heavy armored assets. The prevailing view among both policymakers and the public is that Finland's own deterrence must not be weakened, especially given its unique geographic exposure. This stance is not isolationist, but defensive in nature, reflecting a belief that Finland's primary contribution to collective security lies in securing NATO's northern flank. Joining NATO has not diluted Finland's military identity. On the contrary, it has reinforced it. Finland brings to the alliance a mature territorial defense model, a highly trained reserve force, and a realistic understanding of high-intensity conflict near home territory. The Leopard Two, standardized and interoperable with other European armies, allows Finland to contribute to NATO planning without sacrificing its own doctrinal priorities. Rather than adapting wholesale to NATO, Finland expects NATO to incorporate Finnish expertise in territorial defense. Looking ahead to the period between 2030 and 2035, Finland is unlikely to rush into replacing its main battle tanks with unproven next-generation systems. The emphasis will remain on incremental modernization, life extension, and improved integration with sensors, air defense, and unmanned systems. This cautious approach reflects a broader Nordic philosophy. Technological change should enhance reliability and readiness, not introduce unnecessary risk. The Finnish case demonstrates that the relevance of armored forces cannot be assessed in abstraction. Context matters, terrain matters, doctrine matters. For Finland, the Leopard 2 is neither an anachronism nor a prestige item. It is a tool chosen for a specific strategic environment and a specific defensive purpose. In an era of rapid technological change and loud strategic rhetoric, Finland's approach stands out for its restraint and clarity. Ultimately, Finland does not measure security by its ability to project power beyond its borders. It measures security by its ability to deny power within them. The Leopard 2 remains central to that calculation, not because Finland is unchanging, but because its strategic logic remains consistent. In the Nordic understanding of defense, preparedness, credibility, and endurance matter more than novelty.